Understanding the adverb, sometimes, in English grammar. Hello, English learners. Today, we're diving into the world of adverbs, focusing specifically on adverbs of frequency. In particular, we're going to discuss one of the most commonly used adverbs of frequency, sometimes. This little word can drastically change the meaning of a sentence, and we're going to explore just how it does that. So, let's get started. Before we delve into the specifics of sometimes, let's briefly remind ourselves about what an adverb of frequency is. Adverbs of frequency, as the name suggests, tell us how often something happens. They can be used to describe actions, states, or events, giving us more information about the frequency of the verb in the sentence. Now, let's dive into our main topic, the adverb, sometimes. The word, sometimes, describes an action that happens not all the time, but not never either. It's somewhere in the middle. For example, in the sentence, I sometimes eat sushi for dinner. The word, sometimes, tells us that the speaker doesn't eat sushi for dinner every day. But they also don't never eat sushi. The action happens on occasion, but not consistently. An important feature of sometimes is that it's quite flexible with its position in a sentence. It can be placed at the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. 1. At the beginning of a sentence, sometimes, I go for a run in the morning. 2. In the middle of a sentence, I sometimes go for a run in the morning. 3. At the end of a sentence, I go for a run in the morning, sometimes. While all three placements are correct, the placement can subtly affect the emphasis of the sentence, so pay attention to where you put sometimes, based on what you want to emphasize. Finally, it's important to understand how sometimes compares to other adverbs of frequency. For example, always means an action happens 100% of the time, usually means it happens about 80 to 90% of the time, often around 70 to 80%, and sometimes falls around the 30 to 50% mark. Here is an example sentence using these adverbs to illustrate the difference. I always brush my teeth before bed. This happens without fail, every night. I usually read a book before bed. This happens most nights, but not all. I often have a cup of tea before bed. This happens more than half the time. I sometimes watch a movie before bed. This happens about half the time or less. And there we have it. We've explored the adverb, sometimes, looked at its positioning in a sentence, and compared it with other adverbs of frequency. Remember, sometimes is all about expressing something that happens occasionally, but not all the time. It's a versatile adverb that you'll find useful in many contexts. Keep practicing, and you'll master the use of sometimes in no time. Happy learning, and we'll see you in our next video.